Looks like you've been missing a lot of work lately.
I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
What would you say you do here?
God damn it. Bob, we love playing here tonight. My brother's ready.
It helps if you think of it as a game, Bob. Every game has a winner and a loser.
You must possess strength to inflict pain, Bob.
And the two Bobs are live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Two Bobs cast. We are here for a bonus episode, one of which we had a long week and wanted to make sure that we didn't have to do a lot of research this week. Cavs playoffs, all kind of stuff going on. So we are going to do something a little different this time. We'll get into that here in a second. But first of all, I am once again with the other Bob. Mr. H. How are you doing, Mr. H?
I'm doing.
Tired from the game last night?
Yeah, I kind of am, really. But I got home a little earlier than I thought, and way earlier than from Detroit on
Yeah, tell us about that, because
Tuesday night.
What a cool thing. Mr.
All right,
Gilbert.
well, let me tell the story real quick. So, I have 10 game plan for the Cavs. So, we get various other, and I got to give hats off to Dan Gilbert and the whole team of Cavs people. Like, I have Brown season tickets, or I did, and the Cavs treat their fans, their season ticket holders, so unbelievably well. Like, it's a year-round thing. Like, I have a 10-game plan. It's a quarter of the season. Like, there's 41 home games, right? I have 10. So, and I'm in the upper deck. I'm not spending a lot of money, right? So, but in the off season, they have like happy hours where they close down bars and wineries around the area, and you get to choose which one you want to go to, and you get to go for a couple hours and have a couple drinks and mingle with Cavs fans and everything's paid for. Everything. It's ridiculous. And then they have family nights too, where they had they shut down the Autorama drive-in, right? And it was only Cavs season ticket holders and their families in there. So you could do that, or there's just so many things they do even in the off season. Well, they take care of you in the regular season too. So there's been times where we've gotten upgraded to better seats. We've sat in just behind the announcer's table, like a couple seats right off the floor. We've sat in the lower bowl, 10 rows back. We've been in the founder's suite where they have all this free food. We've done all these things. And so then anyway, the playoffs come around here and they get to the second round and they're playing Detroit. So, in Cleveland here, we're only 3-hour drive or something from Detroit. And it just so happens that the Cavs owner, Dan Gilbert, grew up in Detroit. He has a house in Detroit. He's from Detroit. So he was like, all right, well, I guess he told the VPs, he got them together. He's like, all right, the Cavs are going to play Detroit. What do we have to do in order to get a bunch? How many Cavs fans do you think we can get from here up to there for those road games? So it turned out that for games 1 and 2 in Detroit, game 1, they took basically all of the staff for the Cavs and 100 season ticket holders and went up there with 400 people. So it was, 8-10 buses, something like that. So then for Thursday, they actually ended up with 493 people. So my ticket agent calls on Wednesday and says, hey, he was supposed to drop a sign off in my yard, like a Cavs playoff sign, just to drum up interest or whatever, just to advertise or whatever. I'm like, sure, man, drop it off whenever. So, and I was giving him some crap. I'm like, hey, could you mow my lawn while you're here? And he's like, he goes, well, how much are you paying? And I'm like, well, I don't, I'm like, don't I pay you enough already? He goes, well, technically you pay the Cavs, you don't pay me. I'm like, well, indirectly I kind of pay you though, don't I?
Yeah.
So we were kind of laughing about that. And then like 20 minutes later, and I'm like, I'm just messing with you. Just bring the sign over whenever. So 20 minutes later, he calls or he texts me and he said, hey, give me a call when you get a chance. I got a question for you. I'm like, okay. So I call him up and he said, hey, do you work? And I'm like, well, yeah, I work, So I don't know if he thought I was retired because, I'm old. But so I'm like, yeah, I work. And he goes, well, how hard is it for you to get a day off? And like, can you get tomorrow off? And I'm like, I got plenty of vacation time. I can get off. Why? What's going on? He goes, how would you like to go to Detroit for game 2? And I'm like, oh, yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? So he goes, he's like, there's buses, we're going to leave. We're going to meet at the arena, or you're going to park your car in the arena garage. We're going to validate it. And so you won't have to pay to park. You leave your car there. We're going to bus you up to Detroit. We're going to feed you lunch. We're going to have a happy hour when we get there. And then we're going to go to the Cavs Pistons game in Detroit. And I'm like, wow, like this is amazing. So, but it was actually really amazing. So we get there on the buses and, we go to walk in this building, and it's a building that Dan owns that I guess he bought that was empty. It was, abandoned basically. And he kind of repurposed it into this event space, right? So there's like 2 floors of open space to have events. And then I think there's apartments up higher. Like there's 14 floors in this building, but the lower 2 floors are just event space called the Beacon. So I thought it was a bar or something. I didn't know. It just said we're going to the Beacon for this happy hour. Well, we get there and it's completely catered, like high-end catered with like, a taco bar with everything you could possibly imagine on it, a wing bar and sliders and like all this different stuff. And open bars. There was like 8 bars. There was 3 downstairs and 5 on the main level in the second floor, which is all open, has floor-to-ceiling windows. And it looks out on the Detroit River, so you're looking straight over at Canada. Like, it's a beautiful, beautiful area. And I mean, Dave Gilbert's a billionaire, multi-billionaire, right? So he can afford it. But just the fact that he bussed all these people up there, and it didn't cost us a dime. We didn't spend it. We sat on the bus. They fed us snacks and, gave us whatever. And then, we get there. We have open bar for like an hour and a half and all this food. And then we went over to the game, and they bussed us back home. It was just outstanding. It was so much fun. Now they lost, so the only thing that sucked was the game. But oh my god, well that and the Detroit fans weren't the friendliest. Now that was game 2, and then I was at game 4 last night at home, and there was quite a few Detroit fans there, and the Cavs fans don't treat them anywhere nearly as badly as we got treated. And it was bad. Like, I don't care. I can take it. I'm just sitting there and like, whatever. I'm just kind of laughing about stuff. But they were really messing with the 5 girls next to us that were in the row. Like, there was like half a row of Cavs fans here, half a row there. So we weren't really sitting by ourselves, but they were kind of really letting them have it and kind of touching them and messing with them and hitting them and playing with their hair and just doing stupid crap like that, And I was like, man, I'll tell you what, if the Cavs win this game, I am going to be insufferable on the way out of this place. Man. These guys are going to hear it all the way to their cars if I get that far, man. But, yeah, they didn't win, so, whatever. But, yeah, they gave us a lot of crap. But, beyond that, it was an absolute great experience. They have a beautiful arena up there. It's like you're walking inside, but the roof's all kind of like, it lets light in, and it's not really glass, I don't think. Like, you can't really see the sky, but it lets light in. Actually, it feels like you're walking outside, but you're inside. It's a beautiful, beautiful arena. It really is nice. And so we had a fantastic time up there. It was awesome. So I'm like, man, if they ever call me again, I'll hop on that in a second. So fantastic time.
Very
Series
cool.
is tied 2-2 now, so we'll see what happens. Back to Detroit for tomorrow night for game 5. So I haven't gotten any phone calls today, so I don't think I'm going up there tomorrow. But I would not be surprised at all if he's sending another group of fans up there for game 5 and probably again for game 7 if that happens.
Oh yeah, if there's a game 7, and that would be the one to jump on if you can. That would be a lot of fun.
So we had this whole food and drinks and pep rally thing, and they had the Ahmad Crump the guy that does
Yep.
the floor announcing stuff at the Cavs games, he was there and he was getting the crowd pumped up. It was incredible, man. What an incredible experience. Anywho,
Yep.
so yeah, there was that. So that was Thursday, and then Friday was a really long day because I got home at like 2:00 in the morning. And then he cares about winning and the fans. I'm sure Jimmy has them. Like, yeah, the results don't show up, but I'm sure he cares a lot about winning too. But they don't give a crap about their fans. I can say that firsthand. They do not care about you or me or anybody. They don't care about the 40-year season ticket holders. They don't care about anybody at the Browns. Let me be clear. They care about nobody except money. It's all they care about. You get nothing from those guys. I get all this stuff from the Cavs. I get nothing from the Browns. And the Browns is twice as much money plus.
Yeah.
And I get nothing from them. So, yeah, the Browns can suck it. So, and they do every year anyway. So,
they sure do.
Yet I still watch. But, anyhow. Yeah, I'm done with that. I gave those up because the price keeps going up and the product keeps getting worse, and they don't do anything for their people. So, shout out to the Cavs, and it was fantastic.
Yep, absolutely. Well, that's awesome. Again, that's really, really cool. And again, probably not a lot of people would be able to just go, the day of. So that's cool.
Well, there was 12 buses, and they were full of people, so somehow people were able to do it. So.
That's
I guess,
true.
I'm sure there were some people that had to say no, and then they just went to the next people. But how I was afraid to even say anything. Like, how am I even on this bus, right? I have a 10-game plan. How am I even here? So I saw people on Twitter. Somebody posted about how they're doing this, and there was rumors going around this was going on. And there was people on different buses I was on, posting saying, can confirm, here's us on the bus. And there were people who were like, hey, I have a half-season plan. Nobody called me. Like, my phone wasn't ringing. I was like, man, I felt bad because I'm like, what? I can't even believe I was here. But, man, I was great.
They had to have reached out. I bet you there are more. Some people are screening more phone calls. Or
maybe, yeah.
Maybe they don't
if
have
you get a call from your agent, like my agent's in my phone, you know what I mean? Like, because in case he's get a hold of me. So, I don't know.
I wonder how many people just don't deal with a rep or whatever. They just... They probably just get an invoice, they send it, and that's it. They don't want to talk to anybody. I get that, right? Like, when I had season tickets with like the Guardians, or the Indians at the time, like I don't really think I ever talked to anybody, and they may do it differently than the Cavs, but like all I remember going online and just paying what I wanted, a season ticket or whatever. I bought it. Like, you go right to the website. You could buy everything online.
That's true.
So
yeah, you don't need to have an agent.
You don't need it. So again, your guy hooks you up a lot of times. Like, you're looking for a concert, you call him. You're like, I want, and I know he hooks you up with a spot.
Yeah, he's great too. I mean, he'll get you whatever seats. It's just whatever's open to you is what he has. He can't get anything really special. But the good thing is, I can get him tickets without fees and taxes, which is another thing that they provide for you because Dan owns the arena. He can do these things. So you can get tickets for concerts as long as you're there without fees or taxes, which save you, as you know, a ton of money.
$20 to $50 a ticket.
Not shy about tacking on them fees. So
it's nasty.
Yeah, it really is.
So awesome. That's an awesome experience, and hopefully they looked pretty good last night. Mitchell looked great last night, so hopefully they can turn this series around. So, but the topic today
it's not the Cavs.
It's not the Cavs, even though we spent some time talking about the Cavs. Shout out to Swag Dubs, who I shared the comment. His Ducks, he lives out in the Anaheim area, Southern California. He's a huge Ducks fan, and they are in, I think, a 2-2 tie now with Vegas, I believe. So, great series out there. I'm really rooting for him to, get the Ducks. They're a younger team, right? They're exciting. Not that I would get to watch them because they don't start till 10 o'clock every night. But,
right. Yeah, me neither.
But kind of tease him, like.
Same with Vegas. Like, all those puck drops are late. So those
Oh, yeah. So I'm hoping they get further. They start playing maybe some East Coast teams, or I think once you get to the conference finals and the Stanley Cup finals, and I think you start getting more 8 o'clock starts for East Coast.
Yeah, for sure.
Those type of things. So,
or at least 9, maybe you get a period.
Right. A little bit. Yeah. So
I've been trying to watch it too when there's obviously crappy basketball games on also.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to watch hockey where I can. So
Yep, I've been getting into Carolina. So due to, again, I kind of was talking it through with my buddy here, Swag Dubs, and me and my wife at some point planned to move to the Raleigh Durham area, and they don't really have any professional teams but the Carolina Hurricanes. So I was like, I should start following them, right? And it just so happens that they're totally destroying everybody in the playoffs. They're playing really, really well. So
did they sweep the Flyers?
Yep. They swept the Flyers. They swept the series before that. So now they're waiting on the winner of Buffalo and in Montreal. So they're
I always
Achilles
kind of
heel.
like the Sabres. I always kind of like Buffalo.
Oh, I would love for Buffalo to beat Montreal, but
they were good back in the
Oh, yeah.
90s, and they haven't been good for a long time. So
Yep. I remember. Who was that? I'm trying to remember.
Dominic Hasek.
Hasek. Who was there? They had a really good left winger, Buffalo back in the day. Like LaFontaine. Did he play for them? Maybe.
I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. So this weekend is the annual Sonic Temple Festival in Columbus, Ohio. We did a bonus podcast last year on it. We thought it fit in really good here, again, with a lot of stuff going on with the sports stuff. And then I am going again. I go to this one every year. So I figure, like last year, I figure we could talk through some of the bands that are going to be on here, some of the festival stuff. It is going to be a little different for me this year because last year, if you tuned in, I talked about how the camping experience and all that stuff. This year is totally different. So I am not going to be doing the camping. Our buddies who did the camping couldn't do it this year, and then it just kind of evolved. So now it's just going to be me and my 15-year-old son, and that's it. So
did they add the camping back? I thought they got rid of the camping.
they did, but they did add it late, like really late.
Okay.
And I think it was less than normal because there's a lot of construction and stuff happening around the area of where this takes place, which is at the historic Columbus Crew Stadium, not the newer one that they did. So it's right across from the Ohio State Fair. So they're always building up stuff over there because, again, I know they want to do different events. And so anyway, there's a lot of construction. So it has messed with some of the camping spaces. So it's very minimal. But, yeah, this year the camping didn't go on sale till months after the tickets did and all that stuff. So they're still doing camping, but I am not partaking in the camping. So I just got a hotel, and I'm going to have to give a review, in the coming weeks on how it's different because, we talked last year about how camping is the game changer, right? On paper, you go to a festival, it's 4 full days now, it's from noon till midnight. And no matter what the weather's like, you're kind of stuck there unless you got camping. And camping kind of mixes things up a little bit where, you can come and go as you want. You can leave at any time and go to the camper.
Nobody else can do that.
Nope.
You're in. There's no in and out privileges unless you're camping. Then you can go in and out all you want, which is that's so huge.
Yeah, you can't even go to your car, just to sit in the air for a little bit, or you can't leave. So, again, I'm a little bit more, I don't know, I don't know what to expect this year for sure. But again, I got my son wanted to go, and I'm lucky because we're going to go over the lineup here in a little bit. But H and I talk about how Thursday is probably the weakest day for both of us. But of course, that's the day my son is looking the most forward to. So
he's so into Necrogoblicon, you wouldn't believe it.
He is not, but I will go over some of the bands that he is really interested in later. For me, as a hard rocker and a metalhead, I got a lot more that I like in all the other days. But, Thursday's a day for him, so that kind of dragged him to go, right? And he likes enough of the other bands the other days that he'll enjoy himself. But again, Thursdays for me, it's almost like an opening act type of thing. Like not really a lot of bands that I'm super into. I do like some of the bands, but others, what they try to do is they try to do a theme every night for the most part, and they can't 100% stick to it. But like Thursday is a lot of emo, emo bands, a lot of like emo type stuff. Friday, to me, seems more like a rock, just like a rock type day. And then Saturday, kind of the same thing. And then Sunday's more of the heavier hitters with the heavy bands. So, they try to do it, but within those days, they still, like we talked about, have some heavy stages, like some death metal stages. They have some more octane type stuff. We like to talk about that here. And then, just mixtures throughout. There's some cool early 2000 stages, which is cool. Some of those type of bands that we really like. So again, it'll be an interesting, I guess, experience to see what it's like, being that we're not doing the camping this year. So again, we're going to pull up on Thursday, spend the day, leave, go to the hotel, rinse and repeat every single day.
So you're going all 4 days.
All 4 days is the plan again. So
curious to hear about the good things and the bad things. But
yes,
with camping, you don't have to worry about parking.
Yep.
Or traffic.
Or
yep. Which
leaving.
are the two main things, and then coming and going, which is huge. But that's just while you're there.
Right.
But I don't even know. How much was the parking pass this year? Did you get
I think it was like 150. I think for all 4 days.
It's not too bad. I thought it was up to about $60 a day, but maybe that's if you just do it by day.
Yeah.
So
that's what they want you to do.
You're still at what, 30, 40, $38 a day, something like that, $37 a day. So I mean, that's still quite a bit for your car to listen to a show because it's just sitting there in the grass.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything.
Doing anything. So,
but they got to get every dollar they can, of course. So, but you pay to camp, but you also don't have to pay, your car, their car. I mean, eventually you're going to pay for camping by not having to park cars there and, spend all kinds of time sitting in your car. And man, the traffic, I'm curious to see how that is. Like you mentioned, construction.
Yeah.
A few times I was there, it's been a long time. I'm a little kind of over the festival thing at this point in my life. But unless I camped, which you really had me intrigued with the camping thing and being able to go in and out, that would be huge for me.
Yep.
It's hard for me to go and sit in a place for 12 hours, and just sit in there and, I have to wait in line to go to the bathroom and buy food and whatever. But I'm sure it's better now as far as that stuff goes. But the times I was there, the worst parts by far was the traffic and the parking. And then, like you said, when the weather's crap or it's super hot and there wasn't much escape, you're just kind of stuck in there. Even, you got 4 bands in the middle of the day you really don't care about. So you get 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and you're like, oh, and then you're just stuck there. Yeah. If you wanted to see bands earlier, there's nothing else you can do. Where if I camped, man, I'd go take a nap or go have a few drinks, go cool off for a while, get out of the rain, whatever,
Yeah. No, that's true.
Such a huge deal.
The good
news
news
is you don't have to pay for the hotel and you don't have the traffic and all that crap. So
I mean, it was pretty much a wash with price. So that's why for me, it's like camping in hotel, probably roughly about the same. Like, so
but the benefits you get from camping would just make that
are better.
So huge.
Yep. That's for sure. And that's going to be a thing. Yep. But the good thing is, again, we know this venue, like we know the spots, right? We know the bathrooms that are probably the less busy. We know the times that you should go to the food places and eat.
Yeah. And that's a good point too, because when I was there, like it was still Rock on the Range back then, and it was constantly evolving. Where now it's kind of, they have it set, like, and it has been for years. Like when I was going, there was Friday night, and it was like 4 or 5 hours Friday night, and then it was all day Saturday and all day Sunday. Well, now it's grown into 4 full days, and it has been for some time.
Yeah.
And they have everything kind of situated where it's going to be. Like each year that I went, like, okay, there was a main stage and there was kind of a secondary main stage. Well, at first there was like a main stage and 2 little side stages. Then there was a main stage and kind of a secondary main stage and a little stage. And then they would change the times up, and they used to have it where you didn't, no bands would play during another band was playing. But now that they got 5 stages, they have to have different bands playing all kind of at the same time, which sucks, but it also is nice because like you said, it frees up lines for food. They've added a lot more food locations than when
Yep.
I was there. So it was, it's just a lot different now, I'm sure, than when I was there. I'm sure they have that stuff more ironed out. Like I said, for me, every year it changed. So it was kind of hard to nail down, like you said, what time to go here or because everything changed around every year. So
Yep.
it was weird. But anyhow, I
Yeah,
just
so-
hated the traffic and the parking.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. That's the part for me that's making me nervous. The rest of it, it's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
And again,
You
they're
don't want
really-
to miss half the eight early bands when you wanted to see 3 or 4 of them because you're sitting on the damn highway
Yeah.
and you can't get in there. That's the
Yeah,
worst.
yeah. You just got to get in early,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah.
mean, if you want to see early bands, you
Mhm.
can't come right in when the gates open, right?
No,
Like
no.
you just got to pre-plan it a a little bit.
But how
again,
early do you gotta leave?
Right.
Well,
Well, right. But again, it helps that I'm in a hotel that's only
Uh-huh.
15 minutes away. So
Right.
for me, it'll be pretty easy. If we want to see a bunch of early bands, we'll get out super early and we'll
yeah.
go and make sure
Wait in
even
line
if we
when
have
they
to
open
sit.
the gates,
Yeah.
for the parking lot, whatever, because it's 15 minutes when there's no traffic. It could be 2 hours. you
Sure,
don't know.
sure.
But yeah, it
So,
depends.
yeah, to me, it's you either have to go because I think the parking lot's open at 7 or 8 a.m.
Okay.
So you could go in there early and sit and tailgate or whatever if you want to, sit and hang out for a little bit. I feel like that's the way to go.
Mhm.
Or you go later and you just avoid the first
Middle of
rush.
the afternoon.
Yeah,
or something.
right. And then you
right.
come right in.
Yeah.
So those are the two options. I wouldn't advise if the gates open at 11. I definitely wouldn't say to go then because that's when everybody else is probably going to try to be making it. So again, you just usually the way that it goes is the first day is usually crazy. Usually people are in a long line.
I went to a couple of those. He's so right. It was so funny.
Yeah.
It was.
I remember.
Mess. And you
Yeah,
get,
we were
one
involved
band,
in
you're trying to
those.
watch and you can hear the other one playing just down the hall, and you're like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, I remember we were like we were supposed to play on one of the main stages, and we ended up being put in this side room when we were playing. It actually ended up pretty cool. There's like the side room of Peabody's. There's like a staircase on the side of it, and it actually looked pretty cool. Like people were hanging off the stairway, like looking down at us, like we were playing. It's actually kind of a cool thing. But we were at the time we were like, dude, we were told we were going to be on this stage at least or whatever it was. So. Like the politicking when you're a young person and like, man, I want to play on the main stage with Mushroom Head and whatever,
Yeah,
right? Like
right.
that's where our mind was at the time. But yeah, a lot of fun. But yeah, it does that is. These are more organized though at these festivals.
So much bigger.
Every band is going to basically play at the time that they're supposed to play.
Yeah, they keep that
and that's
time,
it.
man. If they're late,
Oh, yeah.
it gets cut into their set. They don't
Sure.
get to go over. They're
Nope.
done when they're done. Like, you're late, that's on you.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah,
And
so
then
there's a
all
lot
the
of
days
stuff.
start at what, noonish or so?
Yeah, I think the
Like-
first band's usually about noon every day. So
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
again, like noon till about midnight, like 12 hours, 5 stages. Obviously, everybody on the top line, the main stage, they're all going to play inside the stadium, right? So the nice thing about all that is you can sit in the stadium, and it's all general admission. Where they screwed it up last year
Until
is
Metallica played.
well, Metallica played 2 nights last year, but basically what they did was stadium people were only allowed in the stadium, but they would sell field passes where you could go in front on the field of the thing, but there was nothing to stop the field people from going into the seats if it was a long day and they were tired. So I remember last year, like we all wanted to see Ice Nine Kills, and they played Sunday right before Metallica on the side stage outside. So a bunch of us were outside. We watched Ice Nine Kills, and then we're like, all right, we're going to go inside to see Metallica now. And that wasn't going to happen because it was the last day of the festival, and everybody was tired. So everybody was like, I'm not standing on the field. I'm going to go sit in the stands. So we went to go find a seat, and you absolutely could not find a place. And if we had stadium tickets, we were screwed. We couldn't go to the field. Like, we couldn't say, well, they want to sit, we want to go stand. We'll go stand on the field. Like, we could not do that.
No.
So they fixed it this year, and I think that
Yeah.
it should make it better. They sold some tickets that were stadium only. They sold some tickets that were field only, and then they had a group of tickets where you can do both. So you could pick
Oh,
any of the three, which
okay.
I think to me is a game changer because again, if you want to buy field, like you should have to go on the field. To me, like like I remember the old like Ozfest at Rubber Bowl, right? It was either you had field or you had stadium, and I don't think you could do both. Like they wouldn't let you
You
go
could.
sit in the stands. Okay,
You
so you
could.
probably could.
I had
So,
field. And I sat in the stands for Ozzy. I know that. For
so the
sure.
funny thing is I had stadium and we snuck on the field, but we just never we just never left like fully.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah,
it worked out
I
for
had
us.
field. We our group had field, and I remember sitting for Ozzy for sure in the
Right.
stands.
So is that going to stop everybody from doing it? Probably not. I don't see
Yeah.
how you can, but I'm hoping it deters enough people.
Yeah, it
You know.
might. Yeah, and if they didn't oversell it to where, okay, if all of the people with these dual passes go and sit in the stands, there's still enough room.
Yeah.
Even if there's some overflow of some of the other people, it's still got to help.
It's
from
gotta
what-
help,
from what
yes.
it was last
Well,
year.
and
right?
everybody's got a different color wristband. So at
Yeah,
least you
right.
can look in the stands as like the ushers. And if you
Yep.
see a different color wristband, you'd be like, you're in the wrong seat.
Yeah.
You're on the
Especially
field.
if it
Go to the
starts
field.
getting too full, right?
Yes.
Like they're probably, hey, you guys are going to have to go get these people out. It's getting too full in the stands,
Right. Yep, exactly.
And when I was going back, when it was Rocking the Range, it was like you were saying, like you had stadium or field, but if you had field, you could sit in the stadium if you wanted to. But I don't ever remember a time when there were so many people that they couldn't fit
Right.
them all in the stands, like you were saying about Metallica. I don't.
Yeah,
ever
and that's
remember
the
that
only
happening.
band it's happened for,
Yeah.
really.
But maybe they didn't
Foo
sell
Fighters.
any.
Foo
Okay.
Fighters too.
Same thing happened.
But this year, looking at the lineup, and we'll get to that here in a second, there's not really a band to me that's playing this year that's going to take up that whole stadium. I don't
Agreed.
see it, and I'm hoping that's the case. But I would think between that and selling the different passes this year that I shouldn't have a problem. If I want to see Megadeth, I should be able to leave Megadeth when they're done, walk over to the stadium and watch Tool. Like I should be able to do that, no problem.
Yeah.
And it's Sunday night. So, Tool, and last time Tool was at Sonic Temple, it was only probably half full in the stadium. So to me, I don't see it. I don't see that they're, that, and again, they play a lot now. Before when they weren't playing a lot, it might be different, but now they play quite a bit. They've been in this area quite a few times. So, so we'll see how it goes. The only one I'm really concerned about is maybe My Chemical Romance, but I didn't think they were as big as they were, but I guess they've been selling out huge stadium. Like they don't do 50-date tours like the old school
Right.
bands.
And
do.
aren't they on like some kind of a reunion also where
Yes.
they weren't touring for a long time? So
Yep.
that's going to bring people out just because of that.
Right. Yeah, they were broken up for a while. Like they haven't had a new album in 20 years at this point. So they're basically playing their popular album, the Black Parade album. So, but again, they've been selling out like big stadiums. So it should be fun.
Correct me if I'm wrong too. When Metallica played, I don't think there were any other bands playing at the same time, right?
There was, but
Okay. Because
but
at
again,
this
it's-
one, My Chemical Romance, there's two other stages going at the same time for most of the time.
I think last year it was just one.
Okay.
Like I think,
Okay.
and I
I'm
think
thinking
it was
that might
real.
thin things out too.
And I think it was real obscure. I think the one day Metallica closed, I think 3-6 Mafia, I think, was playing on one of the stages.
Okay.
And then the other day that Metallica was playing, I think it was ICP. So, I mean, it's very, it'll take some of the people away, but
For
I mean,
sure.
ultimately it's a specific type of people that probably, and again, I'm not saying that you can't like Metallica and ICP, but I would think most people that like one or the other,
It's different enough. Yeah.
it's different enough. Yeah. So, again, I don't know. We'll see. But there is multiple bands playing every headliner this year. So
Okay.
again, I think with the 5 stages, I think that's kind of the purpose too, is traffic control, right? If you have 5 stages, you would think there would be certain people that want to see all 5 stages, right? So you're not
Was
going
it
to
5
have
stages
one
last year too?
No, it was only 4 last year. So they
Okay,
added
so
another
They
one.
did add one, so they're still growing it.
They are still growing. I don't know how much more they could possibly
Right,
do without
man.
because, like if you like look at the map of how the festival goes, the big stadium, obviously you can keep the sound in there mostly.
Yes. Yeah.
But then, like, you have to the right of the stage, you have two double stages that go back and forth. That's pointing one way, and then you have the second stage, which is like where all the next biggest people go. It's almost like it's angled out towards the parking lot where like the cars are at, and then the last one is like hidden on the whole other side. So again, you have to aim these. Yeah, it kind of the way like you have to aim the speakers in different directions so they don't bleed into each other. So, but it's fun, when you start seeing a side stage and they're not playing, they're just talking. Like you can hear another stage booming in the distance.
Sure,
right?
Yeah. So, you might not be able to make out what's going on, but you can definitely hear.
Oh yeah, you can hear guitar and bass thumping and all that stuff. So, all right, so we'll get into the lineup here a little bit. So we'll get into Thursday, and like I said, we talked a little bit about Thursday, and H was saying he doesn't really think he would enjoy that day very much.
Yeah, there's like 3-4 bands I think that I would really even care to see, and even them are ones that I'm not a huge fan of. But yeah, what I wanted to hear was like I'm sure you have mapped out a schedule for each day. Like, I also want to know like who your son's into also. Yeah. So again, and I bet you, as I say it out loud, you're pretty much going to be able to tell which ones my son really likes and which one I like. You know, with me talking about music on here with the podcast. So I'll go over my schedule every day, and then we'll talk about bands that I'm not seeing, maybe something that you would have seen differently, or something like that. So, so Thursday when I first get in, I'm going to go in right at noon, and I'm going to go check out the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. I remember Swag Dubs and I really listened to their first album when it came out a lot when we were cruising around. My son actually is really into them as well, so we are going to check them out on the Temple stage, which is the main stage. Again, if we can get in early enough. This is the one day that we're leaving from home in the morning, driving 2 hours from Columbus. So if we can get there early enough, that is the plan. So you're going to check in the hotel after you get out of there?
After, late in the evening, and then from there, we're going to head over to the Sanctuary stage, which we're not going to go to very often. But we're going to check out the band The Pretty Wild, who I actually like. It is, I think, 2 chick singers in the band. Pretty heavy. Octane plays them a lot. This is what I was speaking to with Swag Dubs here. Yeah, we really listened to that first album, and then I don't know also what they've done after that. I have no clue. So we're going to go over to the Sanctuary stage for The Pretty Wild, and then we'll head over to Cathedral on the second stage to see Chris Jericho and Fozzy. I don't love Fozzy.
I don't either, but that's one that I would definitely check out. I like them enough.
I've never seen. I mean, I love Chris Jericho as an old school wrestling fan that I am. Back obviously in the early 2000s, I was as big of a wrestling fan as any person on the planet. So I worshipped Chris Jericho. I thought he was awesome. So it'll be cool, like a nostalgia trip to go see him. And I do. Some of their songs are okay, so I don't dislike them. So I'll head over.
I'm a huge fan of a really, really underrated guitarist, Rich the Duke Ward.
Yes.
He was in a band called Stuck Mojo that I absolutely loved back in the late 90s. And he had gone on he is the main guitarist and one of the songwriters in Fozzy. And that dude is a ridiculous guitar player. So I would go see Fozzy just for him. And I would always kind of hold out hope they'd do a Stuck Mojo song, which I know they never do. But man, I love me some Rich Ward, man. He's
absolutely
greatness. So I can watch him play all day.
Yep. So then after that, we'll take a little break, but then we'll eventually head over to Sanctuary stage, and a band that I really like, not to be confused with the earlier playing Wind Waker, but we will be going over to see Wind Walkers.
Oh, different.
Yeah, totally different band.
No Flyleaf with Lacey Sturm, huh?
No, I am not a fan of Flyleaf, so I will be skipping out on Flyleaf. I did see them 2 years ago when they were making the big deal about a reunion. I saw them at Incarceration 2 years ago, and then I saw them again at Sonic. I think the coolest thing that they do is
So I'm
when
at the Timu Festival over at Incarceration.
That's right,
The
right, that's
Timu
right.
Sonic Temple. That's a joke. That one, absolute joke.
yeah, that's one I won't touch ever again.
Me neither. Ever again. Joke.
So no Flyleaf for me again. I'm not really into it.
No Flesh God Apocalypse either, huh? Interesting.
No.
What is
No.
Windwalkers like?
Windwalkers is it's an Octane band.
Okay.
I mean, that pretty much will tell you. It's
That's the Octane stage because that's the same stage as Pretty Wild, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's like an
Nerve,
Octane
I don't
stage.
know
Yep.
what Nerve is, but
I Nerve. I've heard a few songs,
Okay.
but definitely, I like Windwalkers, especially their new album. I do like a lot, and we seen them last year too.
okay.
When we at Sonic, so they've been here 2
Okay.
years in a row. So we really like them. So we'll check them out.
Have they put out new albums since then?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, they put a new album out that came out, I believe, early this year or late last year. So yeah, I'm
any
really
comps you could think of that they kind of sound like,
not really,
or just
No,
like a regular old Octane band, like
just an
I'll check
Octane
it out.
band. Really catchy choruses, pretty generic riffing. I mean, it's nothing out of this world, but it's just catchy songs. So
Okay, that's good. I like catchy songs, and I know you're gonna skip this this next band here on the Temple stage, so we can skip over that one. You're definitely not gonna see them, I'm sure, right?
wait, Temple. Oh,
After
you-
Windwalker.
Coheed and Cambria. Yeah, that one is not going to be skipped. I will definitely be at the Temple.
I know
stage
you
to
hate
see-
them.
Right, right. Well, we did a podcast on this band.
Yes, we
I
did. You'd
really
love
love them.
Yeah. That's
so
one I
I'm
would
excited.
check out too. That I was never a big fan of them. We did a podcast on them. I became a bigger fan of them. I actually bought tickets to go see them on one of those all-in $30 dealio things. But I'm going to see them headline the Agora in a couple of months here. So I'm a bigger fan than I used to be. So I would
Swag
definitely
Dubs
be checking them out.
is not a fan of Coheed. So
Dude, it was rough, especially at first for me. But some of their more recent stuff I do like. So it's,
they
it's
have definitely.
better.
Well, the singer's voice definitely has changed.
Yeah.
That makes them a lot more accessible to
Yes.
literally everybody.
Yes.
The guitar work
was
has
my
always
biggest
been
problem.
fantastic.
Yeah, I agree.
But man, he was really high pitched early on in his
yeah.
career, and listening to it now
It's gotten
does
much
not
better.
hold up as much. But now, yeah, absolutely the newer, and they play a lot of newer stuff too.
Good.
So I'll be checking out Coheed and Cambria, and then after that, we'll be heading to Cathedral to see The Used, another band I have not heard anything from in the last 20 years, but their first couple albums, and I saw them early on in their career, and they did put on a really, really good show. So I do like The Used, and I'm excited to see them because I haven't seen them in, like I said, probably early 2000s.
I like that one. There's one song that they did that I absolutely love that I never was able to get into much of the rest of it. So I don't even remember what the name of the song is. If you played it, I'd be like, yep, that's the one.
That's the
'Cause
one.
I've listened to it a million times, but that's the only one.
All right. After The Used, we're going to be taking a little break because the bands that are playing after The Used, All Time Low, Catch Your Breath, and Cattle Decapitation. None of those really are wetting my willy. So I'm going to go ahead and probably get something to eat or something.
And
at
hey,
that
that's
point.
5 to 6, so that's perfect.
Exactly. So after that, I will be heading to the Cathedral stage to see Rise Against, another band that I think is okay, but my son is really, really into. I send him over playlists of songs that they're going to be playing throughout the day, and he picked some bands out of it, and Rise Against is one of those bands. So
No likey for me. I saw him twice. This time I saw him do the most songs was opening for Foo Fighters at the Quicken Loans, whatever arena it is. Not a fan at all.
okay.
Just
I
can't-
only saw them live for maybe 5 minutes, I think 2 years ago at Sonic. And the rest of the crowd I was with was not into it at all. So we just left.
not for me.
But I'm going to check it out again because, again, the one good thing about having my son this year, my wife is not going. But that's the one change is, like, she's been going, but she didn't really like much of the lineup this year enough to go. So me and my son will probably be going to more dangerous parts of the festival than normal. primarily as close as we can certain times. And again, what's going to help me is that stage, right, where you can sit for every other band, basically.
Yeah.
So I can go
Get to
sit for
take a break.
Coheed and Cambria and watch the whole thing sitting down,
Uh-huh.
and then we can go stand in the pit for Rise
Yeah.
Against, right?
Yeah.
My son will love that. So we'll take turns going, getting close. Maybe if we don't love the band, we're just checking it out. We'll hang out from far away. But it's great.
Soundboard, baby, right by the soundboard.
Yep.
That's the best spot.
Absolutely.
Sounds the best. It's far enough out of the way. You can see really well because they have good sight lines from the soundboard. They have to.
Yep.
So yeah, that's where I like to hang out. If I'm not going to be in the pit, you'll find me right around the soundboard, on the right or the left or in front. One of those three.
Yep, absolutely. So after Rise Against, we'll be heading back to the main stage for Pierce the Veil, who, again, I've more heard that they're great live than I've actually seen them or know any songs by them. So that will kind of be a new thing for me. Really popular band for sure, but I only know maybe 2-3 songs by them.
If you get bored with them, go check out Whitechapel. I just want to hear. I don't think that you're probably going to be a fan of their music much,
Okay.
but I have heard from multiple people, a couple really good friends of mine, that they are like ridiculously good, a ridiculously good live band. So
Okay.
he's talked about driving to Tennessee to see them because they're from Tennessee. I can't remember which city, but they do a couple of shows around Christmas every year. And he was like, he was going to leave on like Christmas night and drive down there, and he was trying to get somebody to go with him. And I was like, dude, I'm just not that big a fan of them. But everything I hear about them is, and they keep getting more and more popular as they put albums out. So
Right. You know,
So
I've heard some of their stuff before. I know it's really
it's
really
heavy.
brutal.
It's
It's brutal heavy.
But
yeah,
I hear they're fantastic.
yeah,
live.
I probably will check them out.
Yeah.
So thanks for that shout out.
Sure.
I can't imagine I'm going to sit and watch an hour of Pierce the Veil.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know songs by them, so unless they just completely blow me away
Right,
by their stage show,
right.
I can't imagine me not saying, "All right, let's go check out Whitechapel for a little bit." So,
And that's a band, because I've heard so much about them. I've tried listening to them. My buddy, he's tried to get me into them so many times, like the one that was going to drive down there. But that is a band I would be sure to make sure I checked out at least 20 minutes of if I could.
yeah, that
If
makes
I
sense.
was going to be there, because I'm like, all right, I let me go see what the hype's about. I got to find out, because I have heard nothing but just ridiculously great things about them. So,
Yep. And then after Pierce the Veil, of course, then one of my son's favorite bands, because we took him last year to see him, of course, Breaking Benjamin. I know H, you're not a huge fan of them.
I've tried, man. I've
yeah.
tried. I can't do it. I don't know what it is about them. Their songs, it's like Alter Bridges for me. There's nothing about them that I hate,
Right.
but that none of their songs to me are memorable. Like, I'm like, it sounds to me too much like a lot of other bands in that same
Yeah.
kind of group. So I'm like, I'll hear a song and I don't even know it's them. Like, I think it's somebody else. Like, if it's a song I know by them, it's a song that I think is done by somebody else. Like, I just don't. Something about them just doesn't catch me. It's the same with Alter Bridge, and like, dude, the guy, he's got a phenomenal voice, but they bore me. Like, there's not a single song that I'm like, yeah, this is great. And I love Creed, so I mean, it's 3/4 Alter Bridge is Creed. So I don't know. So it breaks
Swag Dubs
like that for me.
Swag Dubs interviewed them back in the day, he says.
Congratulations on all your success.
Right.
Yeah, that's fantastic. What did you interview him for? Was it a magazine or?
I think he did write for a magazine. I think it's probably one of those.
Okay.
I think it involved Chris Aiken, I believe.
Okay.
Because I don't remember, and this might not be the
Chris
one.
Aiken would hate.
Yeah, I mean, Swag, you'll have to remind me what you were interviewing for. But I know at one point I think you did something with Chris, one of Chris's things, but I'm not sure on that. Yep, it was exactly what I thought. So Music's Bottom Line, which was Aiken's magazine.
Is that still around? It's not still around, is it?
I don't know if it is. I haven't. If it is, I haven't seen it probably in 30 years. But
yeah,
it might be.
I haven't seen it around. Interesting.
So
Well, that's
Breaking
cool.
Benjamin again should be fun. With
Not
my son.
Dayseeker. I'm kind of surprised by that. But then, if your wife was with you, you'd be seeing Dayseeker for sure, right?
100%,
Okay.
100%.
So that's one of the changes that happens because she's not there.
That is a change. If my wife was there, like, there's no way we wouldn't be able to go see Dayseeker.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought
again,
you were really into that too.
I like them, but I have seen them so many times.
Okay.
And again, my son kind of takes, because he's with me, like
Yeah, sure.
he basically if he knows a band, like, it would be silly to not see it because
You've seen all of these bands
all
pretty
these.
much, so
Yep.
it's not like you're kind of there just to go with him to what he wants to see.
Yeah.
This is kind of more his experience.
Yeah, especially this first day. This first day,
Sure.
again, other than like Coheed, like, if I missed any of the bands that I just stated across along the way, like, oh well, we again. That's why I'm open. Like, okay, let's go check out Whitechapel for a little bit. That sounds great. So we'll round out the day, of course, after Breaking Benjamin. I would like to see a little Slaughter to Prevail. I do like their show. The guy is nuts. The singer. They're the ones they have those. They're the Russian guys that have those masks, like steel, like they're metal looking masks on it. It looks like little devil mask guys, or like bunny devils or whatever it is. But really, really heavy Slaughter to Prevail. I did see them a couple years ago, and it was awesome. But instead of them, my son's literally favorite band right now is My Chemical Romance. So the fact that they're going to be playing the whole Black Parade album, which I think is phenomenal anyway. So I'll get a kick out of it too, because I really do like that album. By far the best of anything that they've done. And they only have done 3 or 4 albums total, I think, because they broke up and stopped doing everything for a while. But Black Parade is phenomenal. If anybody listening to this is, thinks, they're emo, whatever, like, go check that band out or that album out. It's really good. It was around the time of like American Idiot from Green Day. So it's kind of in that same vein of like a rock opera type thing. So it's phenomenal. It's really, really good. So I'm looking forward to that. So that will wrap up Thursday. What are your thoughts on My Chemical Romance?
No, thank you.
Not at all.
Pass. I'd be heading back to the hotel.
Fair enough.
I'd probably check out Slaughter to Prevail and I can't stand Behemoth either.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would check out probably Slaughter to Prevail, like you mentioned, for half an hour, and I have zero interest.
Yeah. No, that would be safe. That would be safe.
I would get the traffic out of there and go chill in the hotel.
Yeah. No, they're brutal heavy, but I like them. I think they're good. They're solid. I really, really, again, some heavy music I really like, but
it's vocals, the kind of visual that intrigues me. I'd want to see a couple songs. Eventually, the music would probably wear me down, and and I'd probably leave a few songs in, but I'd want to see the whole visual of them coming out and all that. So that would be interesting to me. But I got no interest in anybody else really. Cradle of Filth either. Don't like them either. So
all right, so let's go over to Friday. This was a tough day for me. I remember looking at the schedule and looking some of the things that cross over, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be tough. So as early as we get there, I don't know, but that's going to depend on who we start with. I like a lot of those bands early on Friday on the 5th stage, which would be the altar stage in this one, which is Flaw early in the morning. And then we have Soil, Mushroomhead, and Powerman 5000. Mm-hmm. All 4 of those bands, I would rather see than anybody else that's playing early in that day. This includes bands like Buckcherry, no thank you. Hindered, no thank you. Daughtry, not really a fan. We talked about that before.
Yeah.
Everclear, not really a fan of. Lit, other than maybe the
Lit.
Other than a couple songs.
Place in the Sun, a fantastic album, but how much of that are they going to play?
Probably 2 or 3, right? Yeah.
It's their most popular album. They'll do 2 or 3 off it, and then the other 2 or 3 songs they do will be songs I don't like anyway. But
I do.
I have seen them a couple times though, so it's not like I've never.
We might again. We could go see like Soil, and then go over to see Lit for a little bit, and then head back over to see Mushroomhead. So I think that would be fine. I'm not the biggest
Flaw fan, but I would try to get there early enough to see Soil.
Yep.
Then I'd probably watch a little bit of Lit, and then I'd be waiting for Mushroomhead really.
Yep.
Yeah, same with me, man. Buckcherry, no thank you. Hindered, no thank you.
Nope.
And Daughtry, I've seen enough times now. I like some of Daughtry's music, but I've seen him enough times, and it's just the dude can really sing, man. But it's just his shows are just kind of boring, you know. And we did just see them open for Disturbed, and that really didn't. It wasn't a fit. Although I give him credit, like you said too, he really tried to play some of his heavier stuff, but it just there's parts of his set where like, oh man, it just drags the whole thing down, you know. And
he just doesn't do anything on his shows, and you know, I mean, he's a fantastic talent. Dude is such a good singer, but to me, seeing him live, like it doesn't add anything than to just listen to his album. Like it doesn't change much for me.
Agreed. Everclear, one song, like as one whole song. So
Power Man 5000 is interesting to me because same thing with them, like one album, right? I really like their one album, the Stars Collide. You know, it's got their This Is What It's Like When Worlds Collide, and I mean, again, I saw them in their heyday. They opened for I think Slipknot, one of those tours, and they were phenomenal. Like they owned the whole space thing, and they had like spotlights like up from the stage, and they were like spinning around to it, and like it was cool, the stage show they were doing. I know
they were doing different stuff that nobody else was doing.
Yep.
But ultimately, the music for me doesn't hold up. But again, it's 35 minutes. You know, most of their set I'm probably going to enjoy if I were to see them. I just saw them. On that show I was telling you about, I think it was Rob Zombie and Megadeth and Static X. I believe Power Man 5000 opened that show. So
that was Mudvayne. I know which one you're talking about. That was Mudvayne.
Mudvayne. Well, I know Power Man 5000 opened one of those shows in the last few years there.
Yeah, it was at Blossom. It was Rob Zombie, and then before them was Mudvayne. Before them was Static X. Before them was Power Man.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
So it wasn't. I saw Megadeth that same year with somebody else then, but
yeah,
it was. I had just seen them, and they're always like, I'm never unhappy to see them opening a show for me. I'm like, I like them enough, you know, it's fine. So I would definitely check them out with all the other bands that are obviously around here: Left on Red, Signs of the Swarm, Newfound Glory, Daughtry.
Nope.
I don't like any of these bands, really. I mean, so I would definitely be a Power Man too.
So after that, I would take a good, decent break, and I would wait for Stone Temple Pilots over on the main stage. Again, obviously, no Scott Weiland, of course, but
like in Chester Bennington, which we just did. Like,
I know
he was singing for them for a while. Like, who sings for Stone Temple Pilots?
I don't know, but you know, I'll go watch the DeLeo brothers. You know, play.
Of course.
They're
I would want to go watch them too, for sure.
Yep.
But
so
Dope's okay.
Dope, I've seen Dope because they open anytime Static X plays. Obviously, Dope plays first because Edsel is Static X's singer now. Sorry if that's a spoiler. Spoiler alert.
Zero. Yeah,
Static
what are you doing?
Static X does it right. I mean, the way that they do it, where Zero is just like this like robot thing.
Yeah, like it's you
cool.
Don't know who it is. Yeah,
it's cool, but. Anyway, don't need to see Dope. A lot of these other bands, like you said, Newfound Glory, Woe Is Me, like I don't need to see any of that stuff. So Stone Temple Pilots, and then after that, I probably just gonna go see. So here's the first problem. So Static X is playing at the same time as Hailstorm, which I'm not a huge Hailstorm fan these days. Like I think their new album is not very good at all, and I'm sure they're gonna play a lot of that. But again, my son is with me. He's never seen Hailstorm before, and I know he likes some of their songs. So I'm thinking I'll probably start at Static X, watch a little bit of them, and then I'll go over and sit and watch a little bit of Hailstorm for a little bit. Probably split it up.
I'm not going to speak to his musical taste, honestly, but if you sat him down and you showed him 20 minutes of Hailstorm playing live and 20 minutes of Static X playing live, I'd have a real hard time believing he wouldn't choose Static X. Man, it's so much more fun, dude.
I know. I agree.
I mean, and I like Hailstorm, and I've liked him from the beginning. I've seen him a bunch of times. Kelly likes him, likes Lizzie Hale also. But agreed, their music has gone quite downhill from the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's not even close who I would rather go
I agree.
see.
I agree.
Yeah. So I hope that he gets a chance because they are
To
playing
see
at the
both,
exact same time to
Yep.
see some of Static X to see if, wow, this is really cool. You know, like they're so good. They're so
Yep.
good.
After Hailstorm / Static X, I will obviously be heading over to the Cathedral stage for some Chevelle.
Sir,
Always love me some Chevelle.
always.
Now, you talk about Hailstorm. Chevelle is the opposite. Chevelle is their music has maintained, I believe, through the whole catalog for the most part.
Yeah,
Again,
it's
we
some
did
ebbs and flows there, but yeah, there's really really good songs on every album. for
every
sure.
album. There's good songs. Yep.
Yeah.
So again, they are going to play a lot of those songs we talk about.
Plenty
So,
to fill a 40-minute, 50-minute set. Plenty. You're not going to hear a single
yeah.
song you don't want to hear.
That's
seeing
correct.
them.
So that should be fun. And then from Chevelle, I'm going to head over to the Citadel stage, and I'm going to see Atreyu, who I really, really like. Another metalcore band that kind of in the vein of Killswitch Engage. Obviously, a little different now. They're a little less metalcore now. They're a little more octane-ish, but they do play a lot of their older stuff too, which is very much metalcore. I remember when I was listening to albums like Darkness Falls, like I was listening to Atreyu has a couple albums that they put out right around there too. That
Did they
were
do a Bon
phenomenal.
Jovi cover? Like
They did.
and I think that's when it kind of changed. for
Yeah,
them.
that's like right on the line. Where
that
it did
was the
change,
board. That was like the line, and then they went from this metalcore, which I kind of liked. I never got into them as much as Killswitch and some of the other ones. They just weren't
Yep.
as good to me. But they did that cover, which I didn't hate. You know,
No, it
it
was
was
good.
fine. But then after that, it's like they kind of went this route where they went to like a
Yeah.
total like into this sea of octane bands that
It
all kind of
just
sound
sing-songy.
You're like,
Yep.
what are we doing? What are you guys doing? You know, but
Yep.
that's what they did.
That's what they did. But so I will check them out because I've always really liked Atreyu. But then that
I was
takes
a
me.
big Stain fan back in the day. I don't know how much I'd want to see them now.
Yeah,
but
especially going
they're-
against the mighty Seven Dust.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. It just for me between Atreyu and Stain, I guess was what I was kind of more getting
Oh,
at.
okay.
They're playing at the same time. I'd probably start with Atreyu, probably go check Stain out. But again, it depends on how far apart these stages are. How much am I walking? Because I'm not missing any of Seven Dust for sure.
Yes.
So basically, from 6:55 to 7:30. I'd have Atreyu and Stain, and then how much travel do I need to see a couple of Atreyu and a couple of Stain and still make it over for Seven Dust? I don't know. I'm not
Right.
sure that's even possible. I might just have to wait it out for Seven Dust. But
Yep. And the only redeeming factor of Stained is they're doing the special tour right now that's highlighting their Break the Cycle album.
okay,
So they're playing like 75% of that album.
okay,
More than their more recent stuff that I never really got into other than a
Uh-oh.
song here or there, but they
Yeah.
are playing like the first 7 songs off of Break
okay.
the Cycle.
That's kind of their peak of popularity.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
Oh yeah,
I liked the earlier stuff even better
I did
than
too.
that.
I did too.
But they still always play a couple of songs like off of Dysfunction. But
Yep.
But yeah, that Break the Cycle is pretty good too. But yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
missing any of Seven Dust for sure.
Yep. No, I'm with you there. So
Does your son like Seven Dust? Is he into them at all, or is that kind of more for you?
that's for me.
Okay.
And that's where the decision will take place because
But I'm sure he's not into Kubla Khan, and he's
No.
probably
No.
so. I mean, it probably doesn't matter to him at that point. So.
Nope. Nope. So then after Seven Dust, probably head over to Cathedral and see a little bit of Sublime. I'm not a huge fan, but you just know the songs. So
Two.
I will probably take my son over to see Sublime.
Yeah.
But I also do want to see a little bit of Story of the Year, who
Oh,
it's one of the heavier bands that was in that realm, right? Of the emo, Simple Plan, stuff like that. So I will probably check out some of Story of the Year. I really, really like some of their stuff, and their new stuff's pretty good too. So I'll split up some Sublime and Story of the Year, but honestly, there's not really anything going on. So I'm only doing it out of just nothing really to do.
Mhm.
So So after that, of course, is Shinedown, who I have many mixed feelings on. I love Shinedown's a lot of their albums. Like a lot of them, but seeing them live it's not great. They don't. Number one, they do a lot of talking up on stage. They do a lot of wasting time. If they just went up on stage and just played through their songs, it might be better. But they're so boring. They're so boring live. I can't. I've seen Shinedown so many times, and it really, really bores me to
so taking me back to Sonic Temple days, right? When I was talking about going to this very festival, but back when it was just Saturday, Sunday, and a little bit of Friday night. Probably my biggest disappointment of a band that I saw that I hadn't seen yet was Shinedown. Like they played in the big slot, like late in the evening, like just after dinner. They played for an hour and 10 minutes or whatever it was back then. And nobody else was playing. And I'm like, man, I really like a lot of these guys' songs. I can't wait to see them. And I was bored to tears. That's what you were saying. Like we were talking about the field and the stands. Like I had been on the field for bands earlier in the day. And it was great. And then I was getting kind of tired. But I'm like, all right, I had planned all day. I'm going to eat. And then I'm going to go sit in the stands in a good spot in the stands. And I'm going to watch Shinedown. And I was ready, you know.
Yep.
And man, I was bored to tears. And I've seen him probably 3 times since then. And every time I'm like, it's never changed. I like so many of their songs and they're unbelievably boring live to me. And I don't know why. There's other people are big fans of them and they're super into them while they're playing, but not me. I'm just like, I'm kind of like, get on with it. You know, like I like this song, but I'm like, I'm bored. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. It's not like they don't have energy. They do a lot of talking.
They do.
You know, but
a lot
that's
of
kind
just
that's
disruption
kind
of the
rich
flow.
That's true, but kind of rich coming from a couple guys who are talk
Right.
weekly on a
I know.
camera.
All we
so.
do is talk. We don't shut our mouths. But
But it's rough, man. It really is, and you know, God bless people that love them and will go follow them and see them anywhere and love to see them live. It's just that's not for me, man. It's boring.
Yep. All right. Well, let's move to Saturday, and Saturday is
No Zach Sabbath for you, huh?
no. I'm gonna definitely be watching Zach when he plays with Black Label that's coming up on Sunday. But no, not.
Okay.
I probably won't.
That's one. If I was still around and didn't leave early that night too, because again,
Oh yeah, I didn't even see them up in the corner there.
Yeah.
So they don't play till 10 o'clock.
yeah, it's late, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it'd be worth sticking around for. I don't know that I would either, considering
Yeah.
it's Shinedown.
Right.
If it was somebody else that I'm sort of into that I knew that I liked a little bit more live, I'd probably check them out for a little bit, and then maybe Sabbath if I wasn't too tired. Zach Sabbath,
No, you're right.
but that's a tough
Shinedown
one
plays till
because
almost
it's late.
11. I feel like probably my son will probably be bored. I don't think he likes Shinedown either. So we'll go to probably see a little bit of Shinedown. Probably go to leave. We can check the side stage out on our way out and catch a
Yeah.
couple Sabbath songs.
Yeah. Because I haven't seen Zach Sabbath. I've seen
Yeah.
many clips of them playing live, obviously with Zach Wild. But it's fantastic, man. He does an unbelievable job doing Black
Of
Sabbath
course.
songs.
Of course
So-
he does. Yeah.
And they're all like, he's not going to play a song you don't like.
Sure.
For sure. I mean, it's a Black Sabbath greatest hits, show.
Yeah.
So, but we are, I believe you bought tickets to that too, right? We are going to see him in September also with Black Label Society also. So
Right.
it's not like you're not going to get to see him, but yeah,
Right.
if I was around, I would try to check that out. But it's
that's a
tough
good
'cause it's
point.
10
That's-
o'clock.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, we'll see. Again, when you're dealing with festivals and it's a long day, at the end,
Yeah.
you don't know how you're going to feel.
No, right.
But
Especially
anyway,
day to day,
Yeah. Takes us to Saturday, which is, I think, probably my most straightforward day. There's really nothing on any of the other stages, that I want to see, except for the main 2 stages. So that's where I'm going to be most of the day. The first band that I really care about
Amira
is,
El Feki, right? What is
I
that?
don't have any clue what that is.
I feel so
Uh,
old. Man, I don't love
But
it.
All That Remains is playing, and I
Butcher
know
Babies, huh?
I do like Butcher Babies. If I can get there early enough, I might.
Yeah,
go check out
that's
them.
the thing. Yeah, we can get there early enough.
And otherwise, All That Remains, I'm fine watching a little bit of them. Again, they'll probably play the 3 or 4 old songs I really like. They'll play This Calling, and they'll play 6 probably, and they'll play 2 weeks, which I really like. And they might play some newer stuff, but I could always walk away from them. Then I don't have anything really after them until Pop Evil is okay. My son likes them too, so I'm going to go check them out on the second stage. And then after that, Coal Chamber on the same stage is the next thing. A lot of these other bands like Snot, I've never really liked Snot. Alpha Wolf, no. Like, I don't know who this Knuckle Puck, Citizen, I don't know any of these bands. So to me, it'll just be All That Remains, Pop Evil, Coal Chamber. And then after Coal Chamber, which I have seen since they've come back, and they were fine. You know, again, they obviously don't have their basis, but the other 3 guys are the original 3 guys, so that's cool to see.
I have not seen them since they've come back, so I saw them probably a dozen times back
in the day,
first 3 albums, but
yep.
I have not seen them since they came back.
But that's really all they have. I think is only maybe one other album after those first 3 albums.
Yeah, they came out with one, I want to say late teens somewhere.
Yeah,
pretty recently.
But they're going to play every song. They're going to play Loco.
Sure.
They're going to play I and Clock and the ones that the Roof is on Fire, the Oddity, whatever they call it. And they'll do the Rowboat song, and they'll do, those type of songs. So that song always
Big Truck.
Me up. Yeah, Big Truck.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
Yeah,
they're only playing 35 minutes, so yeah. But for me, if I was going on this day, which I would consider actually skipping because there's really not a lot of bands I really like on this day.
Yep,
that's probably I would show up later, and I would try to see Coal Chamber as my first band because nobody else really would get me in there earlier that I really like. Like, okay, if I was there, I'd watch Butcher Babies. If I was there, I'd watch All That Remains. But all these other bands, like, I have zero real interest in seeing them. Like, I liked the first Snot album, when Lynn Straight was still with them and before he died. And then now they came back, and I don't know what I would go see Snot for at this point. I mean, they were at that Ozfest in Akron, and they were great. They were absolutely fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that album a lot, even though that's not really my style of music, but I like that album a lot. But I don't have any interest in seeing them now. So I would, Plotting You, Alpha Wolf, Citizen, Palais, Royale, Knuckle Puck, Gideon. Like, I don't like any of these bands. So I'm really not showing up until Coal Chamber, really, for me.
Yep. So after Coal Chamber, I'm heading over for the surprise of the festival for me.
Yeah, right.
Over on the main stage, Black Veil Brides, which, again, if you asked 2025 me...
How about 2 weeks ago, you?
Yeah, you're right. 2 weeks ago, me, I would be like, eh. But so their new album is good. And again, they've kind of dealt with a certain style of music for their first, 8 albums. I don't know how many albums. So probably a lot.
Yeah.
They
6, 7, something like that.
Did you just say 6, 7?
Yeah, well, of course I did. 6, I just didn't. I didn't do the hand gesture.
So I'm really interested to hear some of their new album. I don't know how much of it they're going to play. They're only playing for 35 minutes or whatever it is, 40 minutes. So I can't imagine they're going to play a lot of it, but Coal Chamber interview too. I remember that one.
Made the cover.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Look at you. Look at you. Going places.
Professional.
Sir. So after Black Veil Brides,
Kurt Loder.
we could have you on Two Bob's News. You hear it first.
Yes.
Have a news segment. After Black Veil Brides, I'm going to head back to the second stage and see Mr. H's favorite band of all time, Alter Bridge. Just kidding.
Miles Kennedy is a fantastic. He has a fantastic voice. I don't like Alter Bridge. I don't like his solo stuff. I don't like anything the man's ever done. I guess Slash the Snake Pit, didn't he sing for them for a little bit?
Yeah, he did.
Too?
Yeah.
I don't mind a little bit of that, and that's about it. Nothing else he does. The dude can really sing, but it's all just so not memorable for me.
Yeah.
At all. I don't know why.
I'm excited to see them on the second stage. To me, that is pretty cool. Seeing a band like Alter Bridge, which I'm a fan of them, I've been for a long time, but seeing them on a main stage, it would be boring for me. Like, I feel like I would need to be in front of the stage to enjoy that. So I'll be checking out Alter Bridge.
Mark Tremonti is a ridiculously gifted
Yeah,
guitar
he's
player.
good.
I just something about their songs that they write just don't.
It's
stick with
okay,
me
Mr.
at
H.
all.
It's okay. You don't.
Yeah,
have
I don't
to like
feel like it
everybody.
is. Damn it!
You don't have to like everybody, man. It's okay.
I don't. I try so hard.
There's 200 bands on this tour.
Yeah,
If you don't like
I know.
Alter Bridge, you could always watch the Wonder Years, which
I know.
is
What?
probably Fred Savage and his band,
right.
now, right?
And the Ghost Inside, or
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably check out Biohazard, really, but
Would you?
I mean, maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay. Well,
I'd probably be at Black Veil Brides like you, so
and then
checking out their new album.
after Alter Bridge, we talked a little bit about this band earlier, but I'm really looking forward to Motionless in White. I really like their vibe, I guess I could say, is
Agreed.
like we talked about. It's very Marilyn Manson-ish, but it feels obviously like a modern version of it, and it sounds like spooky. Like it feels like some of their stuff is like, it's not quite like you'd say Ice Nine Kills is horror, where they're just blatantly going after movies, right? To where a song represents a movie.
Yeah.
In this case,
With
it's just
movie
the
soundtrack, passages in it and stuff too. Motionless doesn't do that, but
no, but it's again, it's the
got
vibe.
a vibe like that.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a creepy Halloweenish type vibe.
Yep.
And it sucks that it's still going to probably be the middle of the day because they're like a night band to me
Yeah.
with all the colors and stuff. And we both seen them at Nautica, like our outdoor, event, and they played early, but it still was kind of dark out, and you could see all their lights and stuff. It was very cool. So, Motionless in White, I will definitely be checking out. Then heading back over to the second stage, guilty pleasure, especially as of lately.
Swag Tops. That's outstanding.
Brackville Vibes looks like the 5 most high maintenance girlfriends of all time. Amen, bro.
Oh, that's too funny.
That is so true.
Good stuff. Is there 4 people in the band or 5?
No, there's 5. There's 5.
Okay.
Yeah, they have 2 guitarists. I don't know why they have 2 guitarists, but they do.
Doesn't Andy Black play guitar?
No, he doesn't. Not. I mean, maybe in the studio, but not on stage. So, yeah. So Bush is who I was talking about. Gavin Rossdale and the Bush crew. Again, if you would have asked me 5-6 years ago, I thought that band was going to be done. Me and my wife have like a joke about it. We've seen Bush like 5 times the last 5 years just because they've been playing on everything. And they're fun. It's a lot of fun watching Bush. Like they still play a lot of that first album, the hits. And their new stuff isn't terrible. Like they have a More Than Machine song. I really like that one. So I'm looking forward to Bush. I think, again, on the second stage, it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, to see them up close. So excited about Bush. What do you think about Bush? Have you
I was a huge fan of 16 Stone, that album. And I liked now Razorblade Suitcase got destroyed like reviews wise, but I liked that album.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I like Razorblade Suitcase. After that, pretty much everything they put out is kind of blah for me.
Yeah.
But if they're doing, which they normally do, half of their sets on 16 Stone songs, I'll watch that all day. And I saw them at Blossom probably just before COVID. I remember Gavin Rossdale was running up and down the lawn playing on his wireless, microphone singing. It was pretty crazy.
And he sounds good.
He still sounds amazing, and he looks like he's maybe 2 years older than he was in like 1997, which is amazing to me. I don't know how the guy doesn't really kind of age, but I don't know. Maybe that was like 6-7 years ago. I did it again.
No, he's still phenomenal, I think.
But yeah, so 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
He maybe he's looks a lot older now, but I would again, if I was there and after Motionless in White, who am I going to go see Motion City soundtrack? I don't know what that even is. So yeah, I'd be watching Bush easily.
Perfect. All right. After Bush, I don't really know because Good Charlotte is definitely not my thing. We probably will go and watch them just to go sit down, I would imagine, by that time of the day. I do like the Amity Affliction a little bit, so I might go check them out for a little bit. But their singer and bass player that was with the band forever left. He got kicked out or whatever, so it's to me that it's almost like, I don't know, you can't lose the singer, and me look at the band the same way. So I probably will not really be paying attention. Maybe we'll grab something to eat. If we
I'd
can
be checking out Creator personally. That would be my choice at that
Okay.
time because Good Charlotte is not for me. Amity Affliction I never liked. I would
Okay.
I'd be checking out Creator. Now they've been around for a long time, but it's more the style of music that I like, a little
Okay.
heavier. But I would definitely be checking out Creator there.
Okay. And then I run into my main issue with the whole day. I have Marilyn Manson versus Architects. And if you know anything about me, Architects is probably one of my favorite newer bands. Every time we do, when we've done best of, I think they've made it on there a few times. So
that makes it easy unless your son really likes Marilyn Manson. I think that makes it easy.
My son has never seen Marilyn Manson, and I feel like this might be the only chance he ever gets to see him.
But I mean, you're going to get to see him for 15, 20 minutes, and then again, it's not like there's some point in his show where you've got to be there for like
that's true
minutes in when he does blah blah blah. It's not like Alice Cooper, right? You got to see certain parts of Alice Cooper's set. Marilyn Manson doesn't have anything like that.
That's
You're going to
true.
see him come out. You're like, okay, the first couple songs, he's going to be getting people and their frenzy. They're going to be a couple of the best songs, and then you can go see all Architects, and you're not going to miss it.
No, you're right. I'll probably do and that's the nice thing about it is their schedule, what time they're going to play. Yeah. So you could always go to one stage and see 3-4 songs, and then go to the other stage and catch all of the next band or most of it.
Perfect place to do that right there.
Yep. So that's easy for me. Again, with my son there, I want to make sure he gets a chance to see the bands he wants to see too. So
sure.
And then after that, it's super easy. A band that I think is, I guess I can't say underrated anymore because they're headlining a day of a festival. I think this band is just so far ahead of everybody else when it comes to taking metalcore and just turning it to all kinds of different stuff. And I think it's all interesting. Of course, I'm talking about Bring Me the Horizon. I'm a huge fan of them. My son is a huge fan of them, so that works out pretty well. Easy Bring Me the Horizon closing. I don't really care too much about Body Count or Sepultura.
I love me some Body Count.
Yeah.
That'd
be easy for you then, but
yes,
I
would watch Bring Me the Horizon, and if I like Body Count enough where I'm staying till the end.
Yeah,
for Body Count, I'm not, but I'm leaving Bring Me the Horizon.
You could see
so far Sepultura. I'm not a fan of Sepultura. Never have
either.
So,
but you could see an hour of Bring Me the Horizon, and then go see all of Body Count. So,
So I'm there for 40 minutes of Bring Me the Horizon, and I'm making my way over to
Body Count.
To see Body
Count. Ice motherfucking tea.
Yeah, and dude, even if you're not a fan, it's something else. They're another one of those bands. It's something else to see them live. It really is. So
I've probably seen Body Count a bunch.
Okay. Well, then you know. But
they used to play on Warped Tour a lot.
That's true. I wouldn't think you would leave Bring Me the Horizon to go see Body Count, seeing as big a fan as you are of Bring Me the Horizon. But yeah, they're if anybody out there has a chance to see Body Count, at least go check them out, even if you're not really into their music, because it's something else, man. It is something else.
Yep. All right, and that'll take us to Sunday, which is my personal favorite day. Probably my son is going to be dragging a serious amount of ass because I can't imagine there's too much that he's going to love on this day, so it's going to be really tough. But I'm going to go over my plan, and again, I'm going to really hope to go through all these.
You're going to start it off with click, click, boom.
I am not going to listen to Saliva again, unless I'm just using it to sit and relax. But there is not one original member of that band in there.
I know, right?
It's
Doesn't
kind
Josie
of a joke.
Scott have his own, like Josie Scott's Saliva now? Like, what are we doing?
But everybody else, I think the guitar player he just passed away. I think.
Oh, I didn't know.
Maybe
that.
2 years ago, and he was the last one left to carrying the band.
Wow,
now it's zero originals. So to me, it's like
love the first album, half of the second album too. But after that, it was nothing. But I've seen them back in the day, and even back then, they weren't that impressive live, to be honest with you.
It just feels like a cover band to me at this point.
Yeah,
I saw them at Louder Than Life, I think 2 years ago when I went, and I was like, man, this is a joke at this point. So So I'm gonna hop in for Demon Hunter, which I'm a fan of. I think
Yeah.
they're really, really good.
Yeah, well, I got into them when they came out. They came out with like a double album.
Yep.
Not two, like not maybe 3 album cycles ago. It was a double album, and that's when I really started.
That was excellent.
It was fantastic. And then I liked it so much, I got the album before it, and I liked some of that, and then the album after it I liked. So yeah, I
they're a good band.
Yeah, I've never seen them live either. So this would be
either have I.
Either have I. Please let me know how they are because I would like to check them out. It seems like they just don't come around Cleveland that often.
Yes,
you know what I mean? They play these festivals, but they just don't come around Cleveland.
Right. Yep. So looking forward to Demon Hunter. I'll let you know how that is.
Excellent.
Then POD on the main stage. They're fun. Like I'm never gonna have a bad time at POD.
Me neither. Fantastic at Ozfest back in the day. And I've seen them a bunch of times too. They were great.
Yep. After POD, obviously very predictable. I'm running right over to In Flames.
yeah, I would too.
So
again,
good.
Nobody else. You got Skylit Drive, Spirit World, Conquer Divide. Yeah, none of that stuff.
Give me In Flames all day. I'll sit and listen to. Chris Broderick is in the band now, but they're fantastic, man. They are so good. Their guitar work is out of this world. So In Flames for sure. And of course, after that, headed to the main stage, the mighty Avatar.
One of the highlights of the weekend right there.
Yeah, Avatar. I actually am a little disappointed that they're on the main stage because I'm used to seeing them the last couple times at Sonic on the side stage where we just walked right up to the stage, and I sent you videos I think last year or the year before.
Yeah,
man, they're so good. Man, they're so good live. So I'm looking forward to Avatar. That's easy.
You just say the name, I can't wipe the smile off my face. I can't even hide it, dude. It's so much fun. So much fun to see those guys live. And this latest album's really good too.
Yeah.
Like, the one before kind of fell off a little bit for me, but this latest one's great. So I really
good.
So man, it sucks. So that 40 minutes is going to go by like 5 minutes.
I know.
It's going to be over so fast. You're going to be like, no, that can't be it already.
I know.
Unbelievable.
Yep. And then after that, I've seen Suicidal Tendencies so many times, so I probably won't see them from first. I don't know. There's really nothing going on at that time, though, so we'll just probably take a little break. And then, of course, head back to the main stage and see, again, another mighty legend, Axeman. Of course, I'm talking about Black Label Society and the boy Zach Wild, of course. So I have not seen Black Label in a while. I have seen them a lot in the past, but I will never skip out a chance to see Black Label. Excellent stuff. So I assume that's what you would do as well.
Yes, correct. No Ailstorm for you, huh?
No Ailstorm. That it is entertaining.
Yeah, it's weird and different, but I'm not leaving Black Label.
Not going to skip out on Black Label.
But if it was at a different time, if it was say during Suicidal, absolutely, I'm checking out Ailstorm.
100%. Yep.
Even though I'm not a huge fan of their music, but it's just the whole gimmicky, weird, thing that they have going on. It's worth trying to see. So I've seen them at all the European festivals that get shown on YouTube and whatnot. I've seen them play those a bunch of times, and it's definitely interesting, but not over Black Label though.
Yep. And then
I never was like a big fan of Black Label Society until more kind of recently. At first, remember when they opened the Ozfest stage? I want to say the first year they were on it, and I was like, man, I don't know, I don't really like these guys.
I agree.
Much,
they were not. They were not great.
It's like it took a while for me to kind of absorb them and kind of get what they do. Like at first I'm like, what is this? It just seemed kind of like, I don't know. And they haven't really changed, It's like, it's me, learning kind of what they're about and kind of getting more into the songs. But yeah, that's a band that I didn't get into for the longest time. And now I really like, so it's crazy. Their new album's fantastic too.
Yeah, it's very good. Very, very good. Again, this is a killer back to back here with me. It's got,
I'd have
Black
to make
Label,
sure I ate earlier because
I know.
Oh boy.
From Black Label to Amon Amarth on the side stage, that is going to be amazing. Amon Amarth is fantastic live. They're just so much fun. It's a lot of fun, and it'll be cool hanging out in the pit with those weirdos, and it's going to be super fun. So Amon Amarth, really looking forward to. I just saw them a couple years ago. I think we just talked about this last week.
Yeah,
where,
we did.
I saw them open for Ghost, which to me in my mind didn't make any sense, but when it was there, it just made sense. Like, okay,
So good, man.
so it was
So
really,
good.
really good.
It's another one, man. I can't wipe the smile off my face when I
Yep.
think about seeing them live, dude. It's up there with Avatar. It's so
Yep.
good. I'd love to see those two tour together. That would be amazing.
Oh yeah, yep.
So
And then of course after Amon Amarth, the shredding does not stop.
doesn't stop, man.
We'll head over to the main stage for, of course, Lamb of God.
Yeah, for more
man.
pummeling.
More pummeling. Yeah, I'm going to be abused by the end of this day.
Talk about dragging ass. Wait till you're done with this day.
I know.
you
I
and
know.
you and your son both. I hope you're not driving home that night. Hopefully you're
No,
waiting
no,
till-
we're staying. No, we're staying.
Oh boy,
Drive home Monday morning.
end up sleeping at a rest area just north of Columbus there, probably or something.
Yep.
'Cause I don't know. Crazy.
So after Lamb of God, I will get to take a little bit of a break. We were talking about it before. We have Public Enemy, No Thanks.
Yeah.
Polaris, I don't really know who they are. We talked about Thrice. I do like a few of their songs, so I might stroll over to that stage and see a little bit of Thrice. And then I know we talked about before, of course, we have Godsmack then next on the main stage, which
Yeah.
I will probably check them out, but you did raise a good point with Apocalyptica playing.
Yeah.
They are cool, and they are playing all the Metallica stuff, so it might be cool to go over and check them out.
Another band it's fun to see. They do something different that nobody else does. So that's worth checking out for sure. And I know it's just like I am. You're a little Godsmacked out at this point. You know, like
I am.
Yeah, you're gonna watch them start playing, and they're gonna be songs your son knows because everybody knows a lot of those songs. But man, take him over to see Apocalyptica because I think you guys will just have a better time.
Yep.
You know, over there.
Absolutely. But after they play, of course, heading over to the side stage to see Megadeth. And this could be one of the last times. Again, we always say that. We don't know that. But
no, this is for real.
This should be it. I mean, whenever they wrap this up, this tour. But seeing them on that side stage, I think, is just going to probably be one of those moments that I remember. Like, just remember seeing them, you know, on a smaller type setting, seeing them in a stadium, like, okay, you know, I've done that a lot, but I think that'll be super cool.
I've seen them at a couple smaller venues and a couple times at Blossom from the Pit. So even at a bigger venue, but close up, but I saw them at a club with my brother in Charlotte. I went down to, he lives down there near my dad, and I went down there and Megadeth was playing. So it so happened to be playing around a holiday when I was down there. So I got him and me tickets and we went.
Okay.
And it was, I'll never forget it. Plus, you know, Dave signed CDs after also. So that was pretty cool. So I have one upstairs signed by him, but it's something you won't forget. So for sure. So it's cool that you'll get that experience. I'm kind of jealous, but I've done it a few times. So it's not like I hadn't gotten to do that, but that's awesome. Yeah, you won't forget that one.
And then the rest of the night will be just a mishmash because there are things that my son wants to see and I want to see. So, so we're gonna right after Megadeth head over and watch a little bit of Electric Callboy as Brian
Swag
also
Dubs was talking about him.
Swag Dubs was talking about. They are very interesting. It's
Callboy.
Yep. So
not the
Electric
Callous Dowboys, right?
No, that's a little different. Callous Dowboy is a little bit different, but yeah, Electric Callboy we'll probably watch a few songs about, and then we're gonna head over to the altar stage to watch Dragon Force. That was one of my son's requests.
Okay.
He really likes them, so we'll go watch the end of their set, and then after they're done, then we can go over to the main stage and watch the last hour of Tool. So
you'll see them do 3 songs.
So I'll see them do probably their last three or 4 songs for that hour. And that'll wrap up our Sonic Temple 2026.
No Dance Gavin Dance or Death Clock, huh?
Maybe next time.
Okay,
maybe next time. So
awesome.
Yeah, man,
this is the day right here for sure.
Yeah, Sunday for sure. Again, and the thing is, I wish, and maybe I will turn my son into, you know, a hardcore heavy metal fan this weekend, because that day is not for the the faint of heart. So
yeah,
I'm hoping to get him into it.
Being your son, I'm sure he's listened to a lot of Metallica, so I really think he'd dig Apocalyptica if they're doing all Metallica stuff. Because, like I said, it's it's Metallica, but it's done a little different, and it's all songs he's heard probably dozens of times
Yes.
because you've made him listen to them. So
And he does love Megadeth. We've seen them together.
good.
So he loves them.
Yeah,
so
you
that'll
guys
be a
went to
highlight.
Masonic, right?
Yep, we went to
That's right.
Masonic.
That's right.
And he does really like Avatar, a handful of songs, so he's looking forward to
Cool.
them too. So I think there's enough going on that he'll get excited. I like that he's really excited for Dragon Force.
Mhm.
Did you see that now the singer of Arch Enemy is now the singer of
Yes.
So-
Alyssa White.
Alyssa Glutes.
Yeah,
Glutes, yes.
White glutes.
Yep.
Glutes.
So we'll see how that goes. At least it's interesting. We'll see what they sound
Yeah.
like with a chick singer. So
Yeah, I've seen them twice now. Neither time was I there to see them. One, I was there to see the opener, and they were headlining, and that was at the House of Blues, I believe. And it was okay. I'm not a fan of theirs, but it's a pretty energetic live show. You know,
Mhm.
it was pretty good. So if he really likes them, I think he's really gonna enjoy that one. If he
Yeah.
really likes them.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Really enjoy that one because they were good live. I had to give them credit. I was like, I'm not a big fan, but I was like, that it was pretty good. I was
Yeah.
like, this is better than I thought it was gonna be. So
Yep.
didn't make me a fan really of the music, but I was really impressed with the live show. It was pretty good.
Yeah, and that's a good and like where you mentioned Whitechapel, right? Like I can't sit and listen to them, but that doesn't
Yeah.
mean I don't think they're going to be a
Right.
fantastic live show. So
Right.
I'm
You
always
might go away
open to
going,
see.
Man, I might try again. You
Yeah.
know, like I keep trying to do. But
Yeah. Well, and just like I said, Pierce the Veil, and I know that's the band that's going against them, but I
Yeah.
just have heard in circles, social media, like these guys are fantastic live bands. So my mind's open. Like,
Yeah,
I don't have
good.
to love any of these bands to
Yeah.
think that they're fantastic live. So
yeah, and if they're not going against a band that you
Yeah.
really are there for the weekend and you really want to make sure if they're not up against an
Yeah.
Avatar or Monomarth, then yeah, why not? You know, try to
Absolutely.
check out a couple of them. You know, you'd be like, all right, let's get a little of this and a little of that and see which one I thought was better. Or you know,
Yep.
that's what's
Yeah.
cool about these things is that you have options. You know?
you have choices, right? If
Yeah.
one's like, man, these guys
Yeah.
suck, and just go check somebody else out. You never know.
And unlike a lot of years, like that's been a big pet peeve of mine is like when there's three bands playing at the same time and I want to see all three, I'm like, what the F, man?
Right.
Like, you know,
Right.
how am I supposed to choose? You know, thanks a lot. Now I have to miss two of these bands basically, you know?
Yep.
But that's not the case this year. So the
Yep.
way they have it set up is pretty good. And, you know, there are parts of days where I probably wouldn't even really be there. I'd probably
Yeah.
show
Yeah.
up later or whatever. But there are, like you said, this whole day here where I'm like one band after another, let's go, you know, and I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about missing anybody. So
Right. Yeah. It works
which would
out
be
well.
Good for me, except that, you know, I don't want to drive and sit in traffic
Yeah.
and park and
Or stand all day
I'd
and
rather
pay $50 for food.
rather camp because that sounds amazing, even though I haven't done that.
Right.
But since
So-
that's not available, I'm not there. So
Yep. Should be a good time. Again, I will be sure to let everybody know how everything was.
absolutely,
We'll do a review in our next episode. But
yeah, we'll definitely set aside a good 10-15 minutes for you to review that because I'm anxious to hear how some of it goes too.
Yep.
I would like to go through the schedule again and just so I don't miss asking about certain bands.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
how was this band? How was that band? Or I also like the like when our buddy Hendo was on the Monsters of Rock cruise. I love hearing about who was a band that you didn't really go there to see. Oh wow, that's a list. Who was a band that you didn't really go to see, but yet really impressed you? And then who was the best band you saw the whole 4 days? Who was
Yeah.
the worst one? Which one disappointed you? Like I love hearing about that stuff. So
Yep. Most of these bands, Swag, I'm right there with you. I'll be there for most of those bands that you have listed. I'll throw them up one more time. Definitely Atreyu. Mr. H was talking about Lit. I might check them out. Seven Dust, can't miss them. Newfound Glory, not really my thing. The Used, yes. Callboy, yes. Chevelle, yes. Breaking Benjamin, Godsmack, Yellow Card. Yellow Card, I might. Good Charlotte. I think just the way the schedule works, I may check some of them out. Yes, POD, Thrice, yes. My Chemical Romance, absolutely. So a lot of those bands.
I'm good with about half
Yep.
of those really.
Okay.
The other half not so much for me. But I imagine just like you and I, him and I are 10, 12 years apart. So a lot of this makes sense because, and knowing what he likes to with the. I know he's a huge Green Day fan, so that kind of makes sense when you throw Good Charlotte in there, and
Yep.
some of these other bands, Newfound Glory, like that. That kind of makes sense. Where for me, it was Green Day and kind of nobody else really for
Yeah.
me. So, but I kind of get why somebody who really likes Green Day likes a lot of similar types of bands to them also. So that totally makes sense.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Well, Swag Dubs, thank you for joining us today.
Yes.
We appreciate chatting
Always,
with you.
man. Love having you here. It's great.
And anybody in the comments, if you're watching this later, make sure you write some of the bands that you would see, right? Like what different would you see? Are there some of these bands, some of these really heavy bands that you want to see, like the Behemoths and stuff of the world? I know that's a big scene there, the really death metal-y bands. Not necessarily my thing. Doesn't mean they wouldn't put on a good show. I would be open to it if I could.
Yeah, that's another one that people rave about their live show. But I have seen them a couple of times, and to me,
Same.
It's the music to me is just it wears me down too fast. Like they come out, and I was like, okay, this will be cool because I've heard a lot of great things, and then they come out, and like by the time the end of the second song, I'm like, I'm gonna go do something else.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, their albums are like revered to everybody.
Yeah, they are, man.
But again, it's that type of music though. And
Yep.
if you're not into the really I think it's just called death metal. I think it's really what it is. There's no melody in the singing at all. It's not. It's just growls.
Yep.
And it's a lot of thrash. It's a lot of thrash beats and. Again, and I know people like that kind of stuff, so I'm not trying to put it down, but it just to my ears, especially at my age, like I can do some of these like Slaughter to Prevail is cool to me. Like when I saw what's the band? They're actually playing on here, and I didn't mention them. Lorna Shore. Yeah. I found some stuff in their music that I really like, but just it's for a half or hour or 45 minutes of just listening to the thrashing and the screaming or like the guttural. I need a little break. I need like Kill Switch, give me the screams, but also give me the melody, right? Give me both.
Yeah. I need.
And there's
both.
a lot of bands like that. Definitely need both. So absolutely, it's good times. I love these festivals, and it should be a lot of fun. And I'm hoping, me and my son can build some awesome memories and this type of thing. So
Absolutely.
It should be a lot of fun. I'm hoping he loves it as much as I do. He may not love it as much, but I'm hoping he loves it. But that's why I'm going.
Did he go to Louder Than Life with you too?
No, he didn't. No, he went to Sonic last year with me and my wife.
Okay, that must have been what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I thought he went to one of these.
Yeah, he went last year with me to Sonic because it was Korn and Linkin Park and Metallica 2 nights. I mean, those headliners kind of blow this year's away, but I think this year had better undercard stuff. Like seeing all these bands on the second stage to me is insane. Yeah. Like Megadeth and Monomarth and
bands that you would normally see on way bigger.
Exactly right. So that to me is going to be the highlight of it. But there's a lot of medium sized names. You got Tool and Godsmack and Lamb of God and Listen White and Bring Me the Horizon. It'll still be fun. You're just missing the Korn and the Metallica,
the big ones,
the big boys. Yeah, so it should still be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. So
I think it's still sold out, or most of the days are anyway. I know Thursday is for sure, but I mean, it's not like they're having any trouble selling tickets. So
nope, there's just so many types of bands here. Like you got to find something you like. Maybe not every day, like you said, but if I was like Mr. H, you want to go Sunday, and we were just going to go for one day, that might be fun, right?
What's crazy too is I see on the list here, I see Offspring. Like, where are they even playing?
Oh, they dropped. That's why I didn't mention them.
Because I see it in the middle here of the screen. I'm like, Offspring on Friday, but I'm like, we didn't even talk about them.
No, they dropped. It's something to do with Dexter having he was doing a commencement speech or something for his alma mater. So anyway, Chevelle is who took the place of.
Way better.
So we got Chevelle instead of Offspring, which I think is a win.
Way
at this point, yeah. I mean, maybe 25 years ago I would have said Offspring, but at this point, to me, give me Chevelle every day of the week. So, and my son was like, "Well, I know one song from Chevelle, and he, whatever the Come Out and Play is the only one he knows."
Oh, the Offspring.
Yeah, Offspring. No, Chevelle. he doesn't know any songs. He's like, but I hear you listening to them all the time. They're good. So
Yeah.
I really like their newest album too. I think it's really
Yeah,
good.
me too.
So
Me too.
yep. So again, that should be fun. But yeah. So thank you everybody for tuning in and
Yep.
listening to us ramble about Sonic Temple and the different bands playing. So if anybody happens to go there and happens to be one of the 10 people that watches our podcast, say hello. I'd like to see you. I'm going to be in the middle of all this stuff, so it should be a lot of fun. And again, I will report on my findings. So
Necrogoblicon!
all right.
No.
Well, anything else, Mr. H? Anything you want to get off your chest?
Have a good
All
time.
right.
Be safe.
Thank you,
Don't
brother.
get hurt in the pits, old man.
No, I will not be in the pit. I'll be on the outskirts of the pit.
All right,
I will.
don't get hurt.
I'll look out for the kids to make sure they're not getting into trouble.
Okay.
Those kids,
You're so hurt. What in front of those meddling kids?
right?
Yeah.
Be the police, man.
Yeah.
So
have a good time. Make some
All
memories
right.
with the son, like you said, and I'll expect a full report back.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks again, Swag
Okay.
Dubs, and
Yes, thank
the
you,
two
sir.
Bobs. We'll see you in the next one.
Rock on.
Looks like you've been missing a lot of work lately.
I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
What would you say you do here?
God damn it. Bob, we love playing here tonight. My brother's ready.
It helps if you think of it as a game, Bob. Every game has a winner and a loser.
You must possess strength to inflict pain, Bob.